everybody! Ha 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 ha. Back from the new year, are we daring today, aren't we? Nice to see everybody back in here again, knowing full well, I don't know, full well is something. I am here. There we go. Not free transform. I always end up clicking that by accident. Thought her hair was kind of off, but now that I keep looking back at like her hair like as a reference, it's not all that bad. How to fix this though? Her hair is just kind of, it's a thing to deal with. Hello, is this the top 100 Fortniter? Dang. Unfortunately, it is not, Globe. Unfortunately, it is not. I do not play Fortnite. How was your new year? How was thou new year? We had fun. I didn't post about it yet, but I did. Look, I don't play Fortnite. I don't either. But them models got me geeking. I mean, yeah, you get to play as Mr. Beast now. What's there not to geek out about? It's Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast. That's the only model that matters, right? 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 I want to marry like 40 Fortnite skins. Dang. New Year's was uneventful. Let me see. Meaning. How about you? Okay. I've like rarely seen HBU. No, but I was doing great. I kid you not. I thought we were gonna leave this week, but I wasn't paying attention because obviously I don't pay attention every single time it comes to like an event that the family's planning. I always end up like not listening because I just kind of go along with what everybody does. So as a result, sometimes they'll be like, "Oh yeah, we're leaving this week." This week? Ooh! But no, it was pretty good. We went out, got a hotel and we like all just hung out. You know, as hotels do. I finally actually was able, so what happens is that I usually get a room with my brothers and they like Disney Junior. and I don't really mind that. We all have fun. And I kid you not, I finally got around to like, because I kept hearing like, what is it? For the past 2 days, at least on my Twitter timeline, the show Bluey has been like rampantly hitting trending. And it was like just 2 days straight of like Bluey in the hashtags, in like the top hashtags. And I was like, huh, is Bluey really that good? And so, you know, obviously we went to the hotel. And they like I said, they like Disney Junior. I put it on Disney Junior because I find it pretty good too. Yeah, I noticed that too. Yeah. I got told plans days of bruh got me all discombobulated. Oh, yeah. I got the trending stuff blocked because politics scare me. Yeah, I pretty much, I pretty much just mute the, I've completely just blocked and muted most new social medias. It's really good when you block them because then your feed gets filled with actual things you want to care about. Like Bluey. And so we got around to watching Bluey because, you know, we all have, you know, everybody has their own TV in their own hotel room. And Bluey, I gotta admit, I really liked Bluey. It actually reminded me some of the shows I watched as like a kid, but like for modern audiences. By the way, there's some really good anime that came out today. Yes, Ventus. No, but like, Bluey's like really, really good. I like had no idea that it would be like as good as it is. I can actually see why it like got as much praise as it did. Not only that, this fandom actually seems super ironclad, so we most likely will never. Granted, that was just an era of what MLP did. This fandom is gonna be like, don't even bother, don't even try it, we will fight you. Cringe culture is dead? Nah. Cringe culture will always live on. Let's be real here. I didn't post about it. I'll probably post it like later when everything comes in because I ordered stuff like for Christmas. You know, obviously like when it's Christmas and then eventually like the money starts rolling in from like your relatives and all that stuff. I want to like everything to get together first before I like post about it because I actually really liked it. I was almost gonna post on Twitter. I had to like mute the Discord because not because of anything, just because I didn't really feel like back and forth with Discord. Just nothing too serious. I'm not sure if anybody noticed that. I know I put it in the announcements, stuff like that. I just wanted to take those days off with Discord. So it was fun. It was really, really cool. Like just going out. We went out to go snowing. That's one of the reasons why we went out. And like went out. We were going to go snowing. And before we even got to the mountain, I was asleep because I don't get car sick easily, but I get car sick enough to where if you're not paying attention, you are going to feel that thing on the way down and up and down. And so I'm hearing in my sleep, oh, mountain's closed. After literally the storm that was like the day before. We were so, and the thing is, it turned out like, it was good anyway because the power had went out. Like just all over. So by the time we had gotten home, like, I think like a day later, everything was working again. But like the initial morning when we woke up, like that day, the power was like not working. I was like, oh, no power working. Yes, that's it. It was crazy. I hate when that happens. What else? Oh yeah, there was this cake. We went to I'm not sure if anybody recognized this restaurant. So around here in the States, there's this restaurant called P.F. Chang's. And, you know, obviously, Chinese food. Pretty good. I think P.F. Chang's is supposed to be Japanese food, but, like, it's still pretty good regardless. Japanese, Chinese. I have not tried Thai. What I'm saying is, if the food is good, the food is good. And what happened was, obviously we were full, and we got, like, the desserts, and we had, like, we ordered desserts, right? And I kid you not, I was like, you know what? I'm feeling the desserts. I'm feeling chocolatey. why don't we order, what are the desserts, my dear good waiter? And he was like, what I was trying to do is I saw somebody had gotten a birthday cake across the table. I didn't know it was toffee cake, and I don't really like toffee cake at the time. So I was like, is there a chocolate cake? And it was like, yeah. And I thought that was it, but it turned out it was like, again, toffee cake. And so, I kid you not, it was called the Wall. The amount of, like, I barely was able to get, like, 3/4 in. Well, okay. So the cake was like, it was like 3 or 4 layers of chocolate. So it was like, obviously the chocolate bread, then there's the chocolate icing inside the cake, then there's the chocolate icing outside the cake, and then there's chocolate chips on the edge of the cake on the outside, where laid on top of the chocolate icing. I'm not kidding when I say this. I barely got through half of that cake. You felt it. You felt every last bit of it. You felt every last bit of it. Oh, those cakes are always so rich. Okay, so it wasn't the fact that it was rich. It was just the fact that it was so. It was so thick. It was so, like, when you took a bite of that cake, you felt the weight of the cake going down in you. And I'm not somebody who, like, cares about weight, even though I definitely am trying to. But, like, you felt it on the way down. You felt it. And I was just like, I am going to die. At home. It took me like 2 days to finish that cake. Bake those kind of cakes for the cafe quite often. Yep. You definitely felt it. It took like, what, 2 days? Yeah, it took, because I like asked one of the waiters if we can like grab the to-go containers. And I wasn't gonna throw away that cake because I actually, like, I had like declared it in my mind. I'm like, if it's called the Wall, I'm going to eat that wall at home. And I did. Wait, no, not at home. I took it back to the hotel. I like ate it for lunch. Not even lunch. I ate it like right before like breakfast. Not before. I ate it like probably an hour or two after breakfast. That day was actually really fun. We had like went out to go shopping. Problem was is that mall didn't have so the mall I'm kind of used to. Our mall in like where we are, it has like a bunch of stuff, you know, stuff for girls, stuff for guys, stuff for just anybody. So it's not just clothing store after clothing store after clothing store, but the mall in this area was like different and there wasn't really anything to do. And so what I was like, okay, I'm gonna take my brothers out to go shopping because I want to, you know, we didn't really go out to like do stuff, like get stuff for Christmas. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna go get some stuff for Christmas. And so what I didn't know was that it was raining. You can probably estimate how this went throughout the day. So imagine some girl, some young adult female walking around this place, no jacket. Her brothers do have jackets, and she's just walking all the way to the Target across the mall, that mall area. And it wasn't just the fact that she didn't have a hoodie. It was also the fact that she was wearing some cloth flats. By the time we got in there, my shoes were, to say they were soaked would be an understatement. They like I said, to say they were soaked would be like saying water is wet, which is what my shoes were. We all had fun. We like went by like, you know, obviously. One thing that I think is really interesting is like, you wouldn't guess it, but Target has like really good, like, granted, like Target And like, I think Target is just like really good if you like want to get like toys for like younger siblings and family and stuff like that. You wouldn't expect it, but Target has it, and it's really good. Yeah. And then obviously I got my stuff. Okay, not gonna lie. I finally got it. I got a physical cartridge of 2 games actually, because what happened was that we went to Target, and then I personally wanted to go to the Best Buy that was right next to Target. Not a big mistake, but I got Bomberman. I got Bomberman. That's all that matters. And not gonna lie, I really liked it. I was actually eyeing Bomberman for like so long, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to buy it in like the beginning, and I was like, you know what, I want to buy this game, and I bought Super Bomberman R. So we'll be playing that in the future, and I want to like play it. I want to play it with you guys. Hopefully we can. Hold on. Let me see. I saw somebody's comment. I'm just trying to keep up with the model. Yeah, we have that with Kmart here in Australia. Ah, I see. You guys have Kmarts there? There's always that one store that's not a toy store that's like the best toy store in the area. It's like, we don't deal with toys, but man, do we have a lot of them. And so yeah, what is it? I got Bomberman, I got Kirby, and then what I want to do, so I pre-ordered it before, but I then had to like cancel it because I wanted to get the Kirby's Return to Dreamland remake, and originally I was gonna buy it like via Amazon, but then I realized that's kind of dumb because I'm like paying Amazon extra than what I would just do by going in the store. So I just canceled it. And I'll just be like buying it regularly. I've been like talking and like haven't explained what I'm drawing. I'm drawing Nadja from Ashita no Nadja, or Tomorrow's Nadja. I have not seen the series. Like I said, it's gonna be a very common phrase throughout the series. But I know at least a general gist of it. It's like, what is it? It's like Annie, but if Annie went on the adventures to find I forgot his name. Daddy Morebucks or whatever. I don't know. It's probably a Powerpuff Girls reference. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing. I really want to see the series though, so we'll probably have a watch along in the future. Because like I said, I've always wanted to see the series, but back then I was a dub purist, so because, you know, obviously I'm like, I want to hear like these actors in English because I want to see if their like performances are like really good. That was me as a kid. I abandoned so many anime that I could have watched because of that. Not Skip Beat though. Skip Beat was pretty good. I watched that one on a friend's recommendation. Then eventually got a dub, Skip Beat. I like Skip Beat. I hope it finishes one day. One of these days. Definitely probably gonna finish faster than Nana, that's for sure. Oh, fun fact about the show Nana. Did you know that Double D from Ed, Edd n Eddy is voiced in that show? It was like, I actually physically just couldn't even imagine. One of the best shops we have though is a shop that buys secondhand games DVDs, retro consoles, and records. It was a paradise. I can imagine. Those types of shops are really cool. Like, what else? Oh yeah, and so also, what I also did was, originally what I wanted to try and do, we weren't going to stay there long, but what I wanted to do is I wanted to see if I could get as many sketches done as possible while we were away. That didn't work out well like I thought it would. I only got about, like 0 sketches done. I was trying to draw, so it's been like a long time since I've drawn in my, sketchbook, because before I mostly did digital art, I did a lot of pencil and sketchbook art, because I wanted to get good at calibrating my hands so that I could, if I wanted, just off the chance I wanted to draw, I would just like draw like that. Kind of like how some authors, they'll like know how to draw it by hand without needing to do all the, you know, the line art sketches and all that stuff, but I realized that's just a skill that comes with time of drawing a character over and over again. Stuff like that. But, yeah. And, eventually, you know, kind of switched to digital art, and that was about it. Okay. I think I know where I messed up on. Oh yeah, and so, because I couldn't really get any sketches done specifically, I was able to like just look up characters, and I was like, what characters do I want to draw in the future? So we kind of added some people on the list. Not a lot of people, but like just new ones. Like, eventually I want to draw Lucy from Fairy Tail. She's definitely on the list. And Ushio from Summertime Rendering, which was just amazing. That anime was so underrated. Like, okay, there are anime that are underrated, but like they don't fit the theme of underrated. Like some people will be like Death Note is underrated, and it's like Death Note is not underrated. If you still talk about Death Note, if you're still talking about some shows, then yeah. Oh yeah, I have some news that might interest you. Tokyo Mew Mew new season 2 is in the works. Oh yeah, I heard about that. I never really kept up with the anime, even though I wanted to. I just got busy. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't keep up with it. Dang. It happens. I gotta look up a reference to Nadja's shoe. What is it? And so I was looking up some series. Now, the reason why I also bring this up is because a couple weeks before the trip, I kid you not, I was looking for, we won't be doing the character, I'll probably just do it personally for myself, just off screen. There was this character named Hotaru from, I've talked about the series before, H2O Footprints in the Sand, and I'm still looking for references for her. It's just that references for her specifically in the style of the visual novel are very hard to find. Very hard to find, unfortunately. I might do it on stream, I might not, I don't know. Through that, I was able to find, I just randomly found this one series, and I was like, wait a minute, I recognize that series. And I clicked on it, I was like, I recognize the series is what I think it is, and then it turned out to be exactly the series I thought it was, and I was like, oh my gosh, I remember this, that she was so cute. And because, around this time, so, okay, how do I explain this? So, Google, when you search an anime, it looks totally different now than, like, searching for anime back. Like, Google 2012 and Google now is just so different from each other. Because back then, if you looked up an anime, you would automatically get recommendations just to randomly, just random anime that seemingly fit the genre. I mean, you get that kind of, but it's all like mainstream stuff. But like back then, you just got a random assortment of like anime, and that's how I would use that to find as many anime as I did. I never watched it. I never watched a lot of it, even this one that I'm talking about. But that's how I found a lot of anime, and that's how I drew a lot of characters. And that specific anime was called Astrolote's Toy. And I was like, oh, I remember this one. Underrated gem this season, though, is Technoroid Overmind. It'll say a game released in Japan. I mean, that's an anime like tie-in. I wouldn't really count that as underrated. It's just the fact that it's like a game first, anime second. Because that's how I pretty much like Love Live. Like Love Live, I kind of like that. To me, that one's like, you know, idol culture first, anime second. Even though the anime does like boost it, but like, you know, idol first. The 3D, you're gonna see the 3D stuff and Nico Nico Ni, and that's about it. At least that's from like how I see it. But what else? And so what happened was that I found the series and I was like, oh, is it like one of these series? And so a lot of anime I found back in the day were how do I describe it? Like, obviously, like I said, a lot of anime like in the early 2000s had like a lot of fan service. So they always ranged from fan service, cute and bubbly, and ultra colorful, because I like cute and colorful designs. Fan service was like, push it away for the comedy, because I was a comedy, I loved myself some comedy. Didn't even matter if a series was like dumb. If it was funny to me, then I laughed at it. That's why one of my biggest regrets is Sora no Toshimono. I stayed way too long for that series. And so, what happened was and the thing was, there was also another type of anime that I would find sometimes, and that would be the anime would star like a demon girl and some average Joe. Some anime that might be familiar would be, there's this one that I know about that's about this silver-haired girl who's supposed to be tormenting him. I think she was supposed to be Beelzebub, but I don't remember. And she tortured him, but I didn't really find out the plot until like 2 years later, because I was bopping to openings 1 and 2. Oh man. And then eventually, I found out, obviously, because duh. And then eventually, yeah, that's pretty much about it. Eventually, you know, like a lot of the anime, like I said, nowadays I wouldn't really go to that type of stuff, and I still don't. I still didn't even back then. And so what ended up happening was, I found the anime, and I was like, oh, was it one of those types of shows? Because what I remembered that it was about a girl, this guy who is tall, and this other girl who was supposed to be his daughter. Now, what I thought it was about this lolly girl who was supposed to torment him, because, you know, again, that's what I thought. Until I read the synopsis on, like, Wikipedia, and like, all the memories kept flooding back, and I was like, oh my gosh! What is it? There's, like, that one line from Honest Trailer when he goes back to Peter Pan, and he's like, oh my gosh, this is worse than I remember! That was me right there. I was like, oh my gosh, this was way worse than I remember. Because when I read the synopsis, I was like 12. Wait, no. I was like 13, 12. So like probably closer to like the main female lead's age. And I was like, oh, this is kind of cute and romantic. Now, I never watched it, but like, I was like, I wouldn't watch this, but the design is super cute, and the design is super cute, because I found out that the reason why the design was cute is because it was made by the creator of Baka to Test. And so, I read the synopsis, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is way worse than I remember. And if anybody recognizes the anime, you will know you will know, because everybody now who watches it is like, okay, yes, it's a comedy anime, but I'm gonna need to question the author on the premise. Please. Like, place. Like, Baka the Test, here's the thing. One thing I will definitively say, Baka the Test is hilarious. Hands down, it is hilarious. Here in Australia, we had Vampire Nights on a kids channel. So I never watched a Vampire Night, but I know it came out during the Twilight phase, the Twilight craze, and I know that, like, somebody's dating somebody's relative in that series, and I'm just like, I don't know about that one, Chief. Mind you, here's the thing. Back then, I look back at it and, like, people make fun of, like, modern anime being like, man, what's up with everybody and their siblings? And everybody's like, man, you do not remember Kiss XS, do you? I never watched that one, but I thought the designs were cute. That's gonna be a very big theme with me when I look back on a lot of anime that I have forgotten. I only drew it because the design was cute, and I never looked... if I did look at the synopsis, I've forgotten about it. A good example would be the anime I just mentioned. And I was like, oh, it's about a succubus. And she's 10. Oh no. There's some anime where you look at it and you're just like, my guy, you know what my guilty pleasure anime back then was, even though it was bad? What is it? Oh yeah, back then when like Kiss X and Orihime were like some of like the biggest diabolical lovers. Oh yeah, you told me about that one. Everybody, listen. The most redeeming quality of that anime, I'm gonna be absolutely honest here, is 2 reasons. 1, the MC's design is cute because she reminds me of the girl from Amnesia. But, like, the girl from Amnesia had a reason to act the way she does because she has amnesia. And, so pretty much, and in the English dub, because what happened was that I started realizing who she was, Maggie Flecknor, who did the... Actually, it's kind of funny, because she did the dub for the English dub of Diabolical Lovers and the English dub of the Amnesia anime, so I don't know why they keep casting her in these roles, and I thought it was kind of funny. I'm like, man, you really are getting all these blank slates. Too bad one of them is stuck in Diabolical Lovers. I won't judge you for Diabolical Lovers. We all have that weird anime that we like. I told you. I like Penguin Drum. Now, would I recommend Penguin Drum? No! I wouldn't recommend that thing to my worst enemy. Because I would be so embarrassed. Even though I really like... Okay, I will say this. I only really like Penguin Drum out of all of Ikuhara's works. I don't like... I never watched Utena. I never really had any interest. We don't talk about one anime, and Sanzura, what is the other one? Ikuhara, San something. He did, Sara Zanmai. Sara Zanmai. So I never watched Sanzara Mai, but Sanzara Mai, Sara Zanmai. Sara Zanmai has to be, like, even weirder than Penguin Drum. And Penguin Drum has, like, a lot of, like, here's the thing. If you thought Penguin Drum was sus, Sara Zanmai is, like, sus. Like, sus. Like, quadruple the susness of Penguin Drum. And Penguin Drum has a whole magical girl sequence that many people could find sus. Beautiful as it is, I love it as an artist. Sus. My other guilty pleasure now is more mainstream, but also very unique. Obviously, it's gonna be Eminence of Shadow, right? That's everybody's guilty pleasure anime. At least at the moment. Shongeki no Soma, it's for the cooking more than anything else, but Shongeki no Soma. No, here's the thing though, like, that's not really a guilty pleasure, because everybody was still praising the writing for Shongeki, because, like, what is it? Because, like, everybody was like, the writing is still, like, the cooking and the writing is, like, good. It's just, like, obviously, you also came for the fan service, probably. I remember when that, like, came out, and I was like, nope, not for me, Chief. Not for me. But I remember that. Came out during the time when Boku no Pico praise was going on. Maybe we'll talk about that craze one day. Maybe we won't. That was a very interesting time for anime YouTube. I'm not gonna lie. It was... Anime YouTube was the Wild West back then. Restaurant in another world. In another world. In another world. In another world. No, but like I said, I would never recommend some series. I don't even like have a lot of like strange series that I've seen. But like, yeah. If anything, I'm not, this like sounds like this like now sounds like me going to different topics. In a lot of ways, I feel like a lot of modern anime just don't need like fan service anymore. Like, obviously you got some series that like they need it and they use it and all that stuff, but like some series I actually don't think need it anymore, because like a lot of authors are like being like, how can I make this writing as good as possible? And then, you know, they make it as good as possible. It's weird. I found it! I found a shoe! We finally found a shoe for Nadja! Yay! Nadja was like... I'm so excited for something announced in Hololive. Don't tell me something, just tell you what it is. Say what it is. Yeah. Holoids are getting kimonos. Oh, cool. Nice. That's sweet. That's cool. Ugh. There, finally. Nadja, you're gonna be the death of me with this. What is up with the shoe of yours? Nah, but cool, they gain kimonos. I've been thinking about alternate outfits for myself. I'm not sure if I would ever, I know I definitely want, like, to do, like, a swimsuit one. Won't be, anything, like, revealing, but I still want to do it. And then... I don't know. It just depends, I guess. I thought about some, I'm not sure. One outfit I did have in mind, I would think I like rejected it because it was kind of copying, but not really copying. It was gonna be based on, like, at the time it was based on Cosmo P's like newest song, Shinigami-chan the Reaper is a picky eater. I actually really like that song a lot. And I was like, it's not copying, but I definitely still want to, like, be careful with it. I like the song a lot. What else? Nah, but like now I'm like, what is it? Now I'm like kind of scouring through, so like I'm trying to like scour through like a lot of anime that I'm trying to like remember. Astrolote's Toei was like literally sent me down like the rabbit hole of what else have I like forgotten. Like, a good example would be, I haven't forgotten it, but Magical Knights Ray Earth was one in series that I was like, oh, I remember drawing, like, Okay, so how do I put this? The reason why I brought that up was because back then, I think I've talked about it on stream already, but back then I used to draw, obviously, duh. I used to draw, I still used to draw like cute girls back then. And they looked kinda like this. I gotta probably like destabilize it. Let's see. They kinda looked like, okay, so I can draw a better circle than this. They kind of looked like this. So the reason why they looked like this was because there was a girl in my school one time. And, I don't know, I'll just draw like a random schoolgirl or whatever. There was a girl in my class who, she would draw characters that looked like Hamtaro characters. Now, back then I didn't know what Hamtaro was, but, it was kind of like that. And so what happened was that I drew them. Man, what was I even talking about? And so I would look around for as many anime as I could to just draw, because I just wanted to draw them as much as I can. It looked way better than this, by the way. I'm just trying to just draw it out. And so what happened? And so one of those characters was obviously Astrorote. And what happened was that I remember I just remember drawing. I drew like a ton of characters. I drew Nadja. I even drew like the protagonist of like a couple of magical girl anime. I think I drew Sailor Moon. I think only because I never really was like a huge fan of Sailor Moon back then. They looked kind of something like this. Obviously, I cleaned up a lot of it, and then I would, like, sketch it out in pen. And by the way, yes, they did have big, black, gaping eyes. They looked like this. I was inspired by a lot of them. And so what happened was that, like I said, I went down like this whole path of like drawing as many cute characters as possible, which allowed me to discover like tons and tons of anime. Like just tons of anime that nobody would even like probably hear about today. A good example would be kind of like obviously Astro's Rote's toy. Cube Excurious, and Penguin Drum I know was like one of them also. I just actually Penguin Drum I don't think really counts, because I remember just randomly searching one day. I was like, I just feel like watching something, and I was like, Penguin Drum. So this is like two brothers protect their sister as she does magical girl stuff, and then I just got heartbreak instead. Penguin Drum is something else. It has its sus moments, but the heartache is real. Now that rings a bell. Magical girl stuff. Yep. Like, okay, so like I would draw no, so there were some series I did draw and some series that I just didn't draw because of my own personal preferences. A good example would be I would draw probably something like Sailor Moon, but I would never draw something like Ojamajo Doremi, because that was just how I saw it. I never really drew witches and all that stuff. Even when like it came to I think I actually did draw. I think I may have drawn the two protagonists, Chocola and Vanilla, from Sugar Sugar Rune. Never heard of either of those. Sounds about right. Sailor Moon. Ojamaja Doremi, I remember. I was like, huh, this looks dumb. Their foreheads are huge like Code Lyoko. They're cool. Like I said, I never really got into I never really got into Doremi, though I have heard that it's like really nostalgic to some people. So yay, more power to you, yay. What else? Ever heard of Mushishi? I think I have. Let me see. Like I said, I used to look up a lot of anime. Didn't mean I watched it. I never even finished Baka to Test. Okay, yeah, I have heard of this one. Never watched it, though. I even remember when, like, Baccano was, like... When I found out about Baccano, and I was really, really into Baccano. Never watched it. Actually, no, I did watch it. I just never finished it. But I actually really liked Baccano. I still like Baccano. It's so violent. It is so violent, and I loved every second of it. Baccano is... No, it's not a hidden gem, it's a legend. Man, I remember, what was it, like, the hit animes, like, everybody now, like, talks about, like, Attack on Titan and stuff. I remember when, like, what is it, the hit animes, people would, like, you love violent anime? Not really, I like cool characters, and if they so happen to be violent, then that's why. Baccano has so many good characters. Like, even though I never finished it, I loved every character that was just introduced. It was so fun. And Vlad, yes, he's a psychopath, but he's a charismatic psychopath. And you can't really do that right sometimes. It was a low-key thought-provoking storytelling anime. Yep. It was pretty good. It was, listen. Then what was it? I heard the creator would go on later to do Durarara. And, man, I remember when everyone used to talk about Durarara every, like, time. They were like, if you need to, like, what is it? The top anime everybody would always, like, say to go watch is, like, Durarara, a certain magical index would always float around in there. Man, no, Bakemonogatari, people, it was spreading around, kind of like Index, but like low-key. Everybody was like, I couldn't get into it because, if you get into Bakemonogatari, you would have to get into Japanese literature. You just would flat out have to get it read. I think a good example would be like how the anime man, Joey, he was like, if you get into Bakemonogatari, as a longtime Index fan, I love that show. I tried getting into it, I just couldn't get into it. I think Accelerator is awesome, though. It's Accelerator! He's a charismatic psychopath. Basically, if they're charismatic, you've probably just won my heart. That's pretty much just how it goes by this point. What else? What other shows were floating around at the time? And that's coming from someone whose first anime was Evangelion. I'm pretty sure that makes sense. Like, as much as Evangelion is pretty much like it's mainstream. It's one of like the first couple, because people have been recommending it around so much. It's like JoJo but less weird, and you can actually probably get someone into Evangelion faster than you can get somebody to watch JoJo. I'm gonna be like real honest. At least I feel like that would be the case. I'm trying to like remember all like the top series. Obviously Full Metal Alchemist was like one of those shows people still recommend Full Metal Alchemist. I know Monster was definitely one of those series people would constantly recommend. Let's see. Monster. Baka to Test for comedy. Now people would totally what is it? Back then, for comedy, people would constantly recommend Baka to Test. Nowadays, people would probably recommend Konosuba. If somebody recommended a romance anime from back then, it would be technically Fruits Basket. It wasn't really solidified it wasn't like, at least when like from my research, it wasn't really solid on like what series would get recommended to you. It would kind of be like Fruits Basket, it would always be like a mix of like just a bunch of magical girl anime than like shoujo anime. Shoujo anime now you would like, now somebody would like recommend it to you, but like back then you just had to find shoujo anime, and if they just so happened to be the top, then they would be the top. Like a good example would be somebody would be like, oh, I want something romantic, well go watch Sailor Moon or Fruits Basket, or even like no. I'm trying to remember so many. Probably Please Teacher too. I liked Please Teacher. It was aight. Please Teacher was something else. Please Twins, I never finished that one, but that one was definitely something else. Still liked it though. Oh no! Back then people would constantly recommend Clanad. But the thing is, some people didn't like Clanad because it was like super over dramatic. Was it for a classic comedy? Definitely Azumanga Daioh. Yep. Azumanga Daioh, definitely. I never really had a favorite character in Azumanga Daioh. Probably Osaka. I would say Osaka only because she sparked my interest in going to the actual Osaka, but that doesn't really count as like getting into a series and having a favorite character. That just means I want to go to Osaka because I thought your name was interesting. Not gonna lie though, I thought the dub was hilarious because they gave her, so I know why they did it now, and even then I think I found out why they did it really fast. For me, it was the cat girl. I thought she was alright. I thought she was kind. Not gonna lie. Okay, so there probably is like a reason for it. I know it's like because she's kind-hearted, because like, you know, she's this tall girl who looks intimidating. But I couldn't help, even as a kid, being like, you're kind of dumb going back to the same cat every day that clearly hates you. But that was just me. And then back then, now this one's actually kind of interesting. So this was like during the rise of like Misty Cronexia. I know he's still like kind of doing YouTube now, but and kind of sucks that his like main channel got not taken down, but like got kicked to the curb. So at least he's like doing well for himself. But this was like during like the early days of like Misty Cronexia, back when like I'm not sure if he's still doing like top 10s and top 7s and stuff like that. Man, I miss his videos. I know he started a new one because he like announced that his like old one was like mysteriously like, it wasn't obvious, but it was blacklisted by YouTube. Because even like as a kid, I was like, as much as I still like the fact that you were able to recommend, like, it was like because his thumbnails and what he would like talk about were really clickbait and really like towed the line of like YouTube, where YouTube was like this was during like the time when the algorithm was like starting to kick in. So around that time where like YouTube was like, your thumbnails are gonna get you, we're gonna get you for your thumbnails, stuff like that. Man, I remember like he was like the one that introduced me to Kaiba. Before, YouTube loves to blacklist channels. Yeah, but this is like during the early days when like people were like, YouTube, what are you doing? It's like, we're blacklisting your channel. Why? Because your thumbnail's bad. And it's like, okay, then why didn't you just tell me instead of like just blacklisting my channel? What is it? This was like back then when their copyright system, like their copyright system is bad, but like their copyright system was way bad back then. I remember when Chibi Reviews had to stop reviewing an anime because even the company that like, because this company was like flagging his anime so many times for reviewing his show, and so because he would show a lot of screenshots and like video footage. He doesn't do that really anymore, but like that was one of the reasons. And the thing is, all he did was just put up the thumbnail for the anime, and it still got him flagged. YouTube communicating with creators, inconceivable. Man, what is it? I was devastated seeing the controversy about behind the seeing the controversy about behind the scenes with 8 Seals. Yeah, I actually recently learned about that. I think what's kind of weird is that even after all these years, I never forgot the opening theme. I was like, man, that theme was kind of fire. Theme was pretty fire. Same. Yeah. But I think what's really cool is, like, what is it? At the time, I think it was like a couple months ago, because I started compiling a list, because in the future I want to do a video of just like, not the entirety of like anime YouTube, but like from a fan's perspective, how like just watching the anime YouTube scene grow. Because obviously this is from a fan perspective, not from a YouTuber's perspective. So I'm gonna talk about stuff that happened in the community, like some like obvious stuff like PewDiePie coming out that he likes anime, because that was a big deal back then. To even like, it was like such a big deal, anime creators had to like come, like I remember when Lost Pause like made a whole video, was like, PewDiePie, you don't have to be ashamed that you like anime, this is pretty good. Like, even to some early stuff, like, the crazy part, I was there very early for anime YouTubers. Yeah! Who remembers Einstein? YouTube moderation is like throwing darts at a dartboard blindfolded. A complete miss a lot of the time. Yep. Sounds about right. Never forget Charlie Knockmark. He's still with us. But did it have to be that way? What is it? Who remembers Einstein? Like, I'm gonna mention stuff like Einstein and his brief time in the spotlight. I think I might go over his controversy, but the thing is, though, is like, I'm going to actually, I think I will go over his controversy, but the thing is, I'm also still gonna say, like, alleged, because, number one, like, the blog that, like, accused him, I was there when Noble had rooster hair. Yep. Also, the whole mod team lies and stuff. Yeah. Bro. Here's the thing. YouTube's mod team probably lies. Twitch's mod team blatantly lies to your face. I'd rather just, like... It's funny. Twitch and YouTube are two ends of the scale, yet somehow YouTube is the one that came out on top. Somehow. Probably because even though they are crazy, they know how to keep you to stay. They know how to keep you to stay. Unlike Twitch, that knows how to chase people out. Sexism. What is it? I remember the video. I had to, like, what is it? Like I said, I was doing research on this stuff, and like I remembered the whole. Ventus, do you remember the whole Boku no Noble? Do you remember the whole Boku Noble, the hashtag Boku no Noble? Do you remember that? That was so sad and so hilarious. Okay, so here's the thing. Like I said, I was never able to make an account as a kid. I was never able to because I was a good girl who listened to her parents. So I only could watch stuff from the sidelines and just hope the rest of the community would just pitch in. The amount of people who were just like, Noble dude. Okay, here's my thing. One thing that I noticed back then was that back then, okay, so now content creators are like, we can do whatever we want, but we still can respect our fan base. I remember so much how the community was just flat out brutal with anime YouTubers back then, and was like, guess what? Do the thing now. They were like, we won't do it unless you do 100 likes. 2,000 likes. Oh man, I actually found like the whole like Boku Noble video when he like reached 1 million subscribers, and I'm like, I remember this. This is embarrassing to look at. Happy 1 million subscribers past Noble. The difference is YouTube mod team lies, but YouTube has damage control department. Twitch lies and does not have a damage control department. Sounds about right. No, the damage control is posting it at 1 in the morning. That's the control. Now, does it work? No, but it's control. Man, I remember, what is it? I still remember Sponsor Man Noble back in the day, too, when he was still doing videos with Joey. Yeah, Joey took down most of those videos. I remember, like, what is it? I know, like, there's some videos that are, like, deleted. Oh, man. A lot of it's, like, lost media. I would say, like, a couple of it is, like, lost media now. Like, I'm not sure if the whole, like, the stuff, pretty sure both mod teams are high on drugs most of the time. No. YouTube uses the legal ones. Music Boy, they use the legal ones. Now Twitch, however, I'm pretty sure they're using the illegal stuff. What is it? I know a lot of Let's Plays from Joey are probably, like, lost media now, because it's been, like, so long. People I think what I will say, though, that I think is kind of cringe, though, people still speculate on why Joey and Noble aren't friends to this day. It's, like, just pretty clear, guys. This is why, what is it? It was, like, what is it? I remember when, like, everyone was, like, what is it? When the group, when Aki, Misty, Noble, and Joey broke up, that was just a new era of anime YouTube that ushered in. Because PewDiePie came out right around that time and was like, came out about anime. And that's when, what is it? PewDiePie came out about anime and Attack on Titan came out. And that group broke up, and that just opened the floodgates of just new anime YouTubers and stuff like that. Lost media is why Wayback Machine exists. But this was like early anime YouTube. Nobody, Joey just took down the videos without like, anybody noticing, so I highly doubt those videos are still up. And even then, the videos were also probably meant to go down because they were... What is it? Okay, so like back then, this was during the time where people would like play Honey Pop. They would still censor it, but like they would like physically they like played Honey Pop. I remember the Honey Pop trend, man. People just played that. People played that thing unironically on their channel. Was like, "Hey guys, I'm back with Honey Pop. Let's get with the girls." Stuff like that. So I wouldn't be surprised why they got deleted, because, well, if you know Honey Pop, then you probably know the other games they tried to get away with as well. I also remember the time with the whole Sakura Spirit team. I think what's really cool is that, like, for old-time viewers, you know why Machiko's in the background of all his videos. But, like, new fans are like, who? Who's the blonde girl? Who's the blonde chick? And everybody's like, I remember the days back then when Noble did the whole Sakura Spirit trend. I remember I was like, what happened to those people? Because I remember they got into controversy. Then I learned about the controversy. And then I realized some people are just dumb. Like, really dumb. Like, beyond dumb. This is why people just look at you weird now. Duplicate layer. Yay. Some people, my guy. Some people just need to do better. This happens, it happens. There was one YouTuber I used to watch so much, but had a big controversy, though. Who was it? I probably recognize him. Probably, I don't know. Man, I remember when Geekdom was, like, super big. He's still kind of big in the Dragon Ball community, but I remember when he used to be, like, way bigger. Let me see. Dang. Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea who this is, but Sunny V made a video, and I will be watching that video later. Probably still able, though. Wayback Machine, it snapshots what is up when the backup is made. True, probably. I never watched Venturian Tale. I have no idea who that is. Like I said, I was deep into either anime or Aki, Noble, Misty, and Joey back then. I was super deep into it because by this time around, I was like homeschooled and I like just would not leave the house. I just absorbed as much YouTube as possible. Bethany, who was part of it, was an artist too. Who's Bethany? I have no idea who this is. I don't know. I told you I only like watched let me recount. Joey, Aki, Noble, Misty, Glass Reflection, Arcada. Giga was not even on the radar. He wasn't on the radar back then because around that time he quit YouTube. He quit YouTube because he was just nowhere to be found. I found him back when he made his review of like the anime of the season when Yuri on Ice was still airing. And then he really blew up with his Crunchyroll Anime Awards video. That I do know. Who else? Einstein, obviously. Einstein was definitely one of like the bigger ones. I'm pretty sure had Einstein stayed, he probably still would. He would have had a way bigger audience than what he had now. But obviously, you know, some people just can't handle YouTube. It's just how it is. It's just how it is. It is what it is. These look terrible. What else? Who else? There was that one guy. I know Giga talked about him at one point. I encountered him too. He was that one reviewer who came and then just disappeared. He just talked about it. Not going into much detail, Contrary was like her experience of growing up in an excessively conservative Christian household. Ooh, I've heard of those. Like, sometimes I hear like, what is it? You realized how like good your home was when you're like a Christian, but then you like hear about some other Christians and like like what is it? You see in some movies where it's like that is so like fake because like your Christian household was actually like not bad, but definitely like, you know, your parents were supportive, parents were nice. You still did this, that, and the other, but, you know, everybody was still good to you. And then you hear about some other Christian households, and you're just like, bro, what did you do? I've been, like, learning that I'm pretty much been learning that all year. I'm like, bro, what did you do? No wonder why people don't want to, like, be Christians. You guys have been mean. You guys are mean to them. It's, like, terrible. Why would you do that? I wouldn't do that to you. You wouldn't do that to a dog. Why would you do that to a person? Stuff like that. I'm like, bro, calm down. Just be normal. Ugh. Yikes. What else? I just mostly stayed in YouTube. I was either into Let's Plays or into YouTube. I was into Let's Plays and anime at the time. I never got really into PewDiePie. I'm more so got into Markiplier because I thought Markiplier was like just a little bit funnier than PewDiePie. And not only that, Markiplier did a lot of RPG horror games. He did a lot of RPG horror games at the time, and while I wasn't a horror fan, I was interested in it because, you know, it was like the boom of RPG horror maker games. RPG Maker. It was like the boom of RPG Maker horror games, and they all looked really nice. I liked some of the remakes though. We would probably never play them on this channel though, because I'm a chicken, and I'm not afraid to say that. Definitely was one of my biggest art inspirations on DeviantArt. I can link your DeviantArt if you want to look. Yeah, why not? Just as long as it's not safe for work. If it's not safe for work, out of here. Out of here. We have not finished up the other one, but I'm like gonna sketch it out probably tomorrow. I just did a rare Wednesday stream. All right. Sorry about that. Who else? Who else? Who else? I know Nyansai. I think what's really cool is that after all these years, Nyansai finally came back online. She'd activated her Twitter. I was so happy. I was like, no, like, I will send it in. I will send in the Discord. Okay, okay. I'll probably click on that after the stream, but yeah. But no, like, I was like so happy that Nyansai like came back. I thought she was gonna be like gone forever. Not gonna lie though, it did make me sad because I really want to see like Einstein and Nyansai's project of their manga, because I still remember their manga trailer. I still remember it, and I really liked that trailer. I hope we get to see it one day. I know he like left to like do his career. I think he said he wanted to become a manga artist, if I remember correctly. I'm trying to like do these shoes and stuff. The shoes are gonna be the death of me. Finally, I found some shoes. Why does this pose look near identical to mine, and I'm just now finding it? Near identical. I almost hate it. Let me see. I'm gonna check. I might, depending on what it is now. Let me see. Who is this? Who is this? Wow, definitely pretty. I like it. So cute. There we go. Okay, we finally taken lift off with something. Let's just delete this shoe. What is it? I remember. What was I saying? I was saying I remember that, you see why she's my inspiration. Yeah, I do. Ugh. It's all these shoes. What else? What else? I can't remember who else. I know there were more. I know there were more anime YouTubers back then. Man, I remember when Kobanermani 456, like, he used to like do stuff. He got into controversy, but thankfully he's doing like a lot better now, and I'm like so thankful for that. he got to see the end of Attack on Titan, which is really amazing for many, many reasons. But I'm just happy he's like doing like well. I was like, oh my gosh, what happened? And it's like, oh, he got into controversy. I hate it when like it's like a legitimate, like obviously if it's like a legitimate like crazy thing that happened, and it was one of those legitimate like crazy things that happened with him, what like he did, and then he owned up to his actions, and it was like, my guy, we just want you to get the help you need. Yay. Maybe I'll remember them later. Oh yeah, okay, so this was during the, I think I don't remember because during the time, like I said, there were a lot of people going in and out of the community. A good example, which I know you probably won't know who they are because I only encountered them. Like, they deleted their channel. They deleted their channel like a long time ago. If you're any YouTuber did a lot of clickbait, but I still love them. It makes sense that everybody did clickbait back then. It's the name of the game of YouTube. What is it? Sage the Furry Otaku. And it's like, who? And it's like, yeah, exactly. They, it was a long, long time ago. I don't remember. I know they deleted their channel, and that actually made me sad because I remember I wanted to find a game and watch their Let's Play, but I put it off for so long that by the time I went to go look for their Let's Play and their channel, they got deleted. They deleted their whole. They just deleted their whole channel. The only thing, and I thought I was like going crazy that like Sage didn't exist and it was just some other like person, but I found out that I was right, that they existed because there's only one video of fan art proving that they existed, and it was called Sage the Furry Otaku fan art. And I gotta get a hold of that video for when I eventually do my video, because it's been up for a while and you just never know what like gets taken down on YouTube like nowadays. I gotta get a hold of it. Soul Animation. Who's that? I only know of Soul Eater. Oh yeah! Soul Eater was like one of like the biggest series to like get recommended back in the day. Surprisingly, I don't find any. I put in Soul Eater instead of Soul Animation. Yep, heavy clickbaiter. I can see that he's a fairy tale fan. He really did milk that Nalu to death. Told you. Here's the thing, there's people who clickbait and then there's just that. How many times okay, I'm gonna be absolutely real here. I don't understand YouTubers who like do the most like borderline suggestive thumbnails and then be like, I got demonetized by YouTube. It was so unfair. Like, I understand, go after the bag if you need to, but like, my guy, you can't complain about something that YouTube explicitly said do not do in their guidelines. I'm sorry, it just cannot be. It just can't be. His love of fairy tale is absolutely unrivaled, though. I wouldn't be surprised. Fairy tale back then was like, okay, I've stated this on the channel. I love fairy tale. I love the beginning, like the beginning story. Fairy tale was just good without a plot, and I will always stand by that. Like, I will always stand by that. Fairy Tail to me was good when it did not have a story. It had arcs. Like, up until the island. I stopped up until Taurus Island. And maybe if I had gone to the Grand Magic Games, I probably still would have that, like, opinion about it, because it's the Grand Magic Games. Some fun stuff happens from what I hear, and from what I've seen, it's like, you know, usual Fairy Tail. Stopped after Grand Magic Games. Yeah. My only complaint about when they remade the anime, when it got picked up by a different studio, one thing that actually did make me actually really sad about the anime was when it got transferred to a different studio, they followed the art style of the manga, which the manga looks really pretty. And the colors are really good. But the problem is that they adopted the washed out colors of the manga, which work for the manga, but they don't work for the anime. I do not like that they did that with the anime. Because Fairy Tail was just so colorful. I should try and finish it. Now, like I said, I stopped after the Grand Magic Games, but like from what research I did do afterwards, it doesn't end really well. You're just gonna be kind of probably banging your head on the door. At least from all the research I did. Obviously, you know, everybody was talking about the ending and stuff. I'd rather pick up Eden Zero. I would most likely go to pick up Eden Zero than probably continue Fairy Tail. Mostly because you can tell, like, here's my thing. Mishima, the dude's a beast. Let us be real here. The man is a monster when it comes to being like, I finished one series. Now I'm going to start another. And then I'm going to start a YouTube channel. And then I'm going to greet my fans at a convention and tell them I'm the author for my YouTube channel. And then we still have deadlines. The man is a beast. He knows what he's doing. The man is a beast. And I applaud him for that. So I really kind of like the fact that he was just flat out the gate. He was like, yeah, I didn't expect Fairy Tail to get popular. Yeah, so I'm kind of just flowing along with the plot as is. Because what happened was that Fairy Tail wasn't even supposed to exist. It just so happened to get popular. Which, obviously, it was Mishima. I seen that video. The cosplay's reactions were priceless. Yes. Because like, obviously everybody's exposure to his works were through Fairy Tail. But obviously in Japan, he's iconic. He's just iconic. You don't, like, the amount of Rave Master, like, cosplays was insane. You don't even hear anybody in the West talk about Rave Master. Last time I saw somebody talk about Rave Master was Rebel Taxi talking about the Rave Master dub. and that was made years ago. It's a very funny dub. It is a very funny dub. It's probably done by ADV. I don't know, though. And so, now that Eden Zero is out, you can tell he, like, is like, yeah, this is the plot I want for my series, because he clearly planned out the plot of, Eden Zero compared to, like, Fairy Tail. And from, like, what I hear from Rave Master is, like, really good, too. There's a reason why the dude was, like, everybody, like, there's a reason people still, like, still talk about probably, like, people cosplay Rave Master in Japan. There's a reason, because he's, like, iconic there. Fairy Tail just so happened to be, like, his, like, breakout series again. You know which manga author I look up to as an artist, though? Whoa! 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 Sorry. Hold on real quick, everybody. I'll look up who the author is while it's muted. Okay, I'm back. I just had to read this like super long text that was super important, and I loved it. I just loved it. And then I just looked up the authors right after. So Tokyo Ghoul and Fruits Basket. Quite the contrast in the authors, but that's how it be sometimes. My favorite author is Matsura Daruma. She has some of the most beautiful artwork involving characters that are ugly. At least conventionally, like, ugly. I gotta, like, show you. Kasane is one of my all-time favorite mangas. Kasane manga. They did a live action, but I don't like... Okay, so I gotta give the live action, like, a chance one of these days. I didn't initially because... So the manga of Kasane, how do I explain this? Because I'm pretty much, if I explain it, I'm gonna be spoiling chapter 1. It's about this woman. It's about this girl who grows up into a woman, and how her face is like, you know, it's considered ugly because she is born in a certain month of the year. In Japanese culture, there's this specific month. If a child is born in this specific month with specific set of circumstances, she'll be hideously deformed. And so originally wait, no, that's spoilers. What ends up happening is that her mother, despite Kasane being this so-called ugly abomination of a child, her mother is the most beautiful, well-known actress, and her mother also died. And so she's being bullied in class and all that stuff. And so, man, it's just... I cannot describe to you how, like, beautiful this series is. I'm gonna, like, send these pictures to myself so I can just, I gotta, like... She's just one of my favorite authors. I haven't been able to, like, catch up with her newer series. It's like, it's about this samurai who can't wield a sword, and it's really good. It's really, really good. But the thing is, though, is that a lot of her series have to be translated because she's not a popular author, unfortunately. And it's a crime that her series have never gotten an anime adaptation. It is a crime because Kasane is basically Act Age, but a psychological analyzation of someone living, like having to act like... So Act Age obviously had like the concept of like this girl who, you know, she was acting, tend to be better anyway. Yeah, but there's no official translation, meaning no one will read her work, and there's no anime, meaning that nobody's gonna pick it up in the West. Because let's be real here, no, unless you're from Shonen Jump, you're never gonna see like half the anime that you want to like get picked up. You know how long it took Shadow House to get picked up? It got picked up after the anime aired. And it's like, just pick up a series. Doesn't matter if it's getting an anime or not. I know why, but like, jeez. Probably a fan translation somewhere. Yeah, there's fan translations. The thing is, though, is that the fan translation hasn't been updated in a year. Ugh. Kasane deserves everything. I just love that series. I gotta reread it because back then, fan translations were like beyond scarce back then. For like Kasane specifically. Now I can probably find it, but back then it was just like a ghost town. And what ended up happening was I'm forgetting. I had to like get a hold of Kasane. I had to like get a hold knowing about like what was happening in Kasane when it was still running because of somebody had a blog site just detailing each chapter by chapter. They would like I think if I remember correctly, their username was their blog, I think you can still find it, Dreamer on Drugs. Yeah, it's still here, A Dreamer on Drugs. Yep, this is the full thing. They're still updating even now. Nice. we go. I gotta like find the images. Alright, here we go. I almost deleted the music tab. Finds fan translation, learns Japanese, updates translation. Man, I wish it was that easy. So the whole plot of Kasane, like I said, so she gets made fun of. But the thing is, though, is that in her memories, she remembers her mother giving her this lipstick brand. Now, she barely has any memories of her mother, but one of the things she says, this anime talk is dangerous because I'm getting the itch to open webtoons again, which will pull me in for days. Pulled in. Get pulled in. So Kasane looks like this throughout her childhood and adulthood. This is what she looks like. This is what she looks like. And so what ends up happening is that her mother tells her of this lipstick. And so one of her bullies is one of the prettiest, you know, in elementary school, even like back then, she was still considered ugly. So she took the face of her bullies, who was one of the prettiest elementary school girls in the area. And so she puts on the lipstick because, no. She does not put on the lipstick yet. What happened was that the teachers come out and say, everyone, we're gonna put on the play of Cinderella. And what ends up happening is, despite all the bullying, and everybody's like, you know what, we elect Kasane to be Cinderella. And so she gets to Cinderella. And the thing is, when she goes up to play Cinderella, they notice, strangely enough, Kasane, despite her grotesque appearance, is a very good actress, even as a child. And so her bully threatens her to get off stage and tries to switch places with her to be Cinderella. So what Kasane does is she pulls out the lipstick, she puts it on herself, she kisses the girl, and she takes her face. And so Kasane, now this is her when she's older, but when she puts on the lipstick, this is what Kasane looks like now. I won't spoil whose face this is because, well, that's a manga spoiler. But when Kasane puts on the lipstick, she then transforms and looks like this. It's a very big contrast. Very, very beautiful manga. And the thing is, though, is what I think annoys me the most is the fact that the author tagged it as horror. This series is not a horror. It's not a horror. She made a psychological thriller by how, like, in depth we go into Kasane's mind. Because on the one hand, when Kasane puts on the lipstick, she ruins so many lives. It was only like 2, 3, but she ruined those lives, and it weighs heavy on her conscience for most of the series. And the thing is, in body, Kasane grows up to be a beautiful woman. But the problem is, though, is in her. The people look at her face. And it is so psychological. It's always so much fun to read, though. Yes, it's like Kasane, like, you feel bad for her, but at the same time, you know it's not going to be a good ending. Because she can't keep the other person's face. Because the face, now here's the catch. If she takes the face, it only allows her to take the face for 12 hours at a time. And so after 12 hours, her face goes back. Her face swaps back. And so she has to, keep that time limit. She just can't keep a face. And I think one of the beginning arcs really reflects on the consequences of what Kasane did. And I won't spoil it in case anybody, decides to check it out. But it is one of, the saddest but heaviest arcs of the series that does last quite a bit. It doesn't last quite a bit as in, it goes on longer than it should. It's just that the consequences, the things people do because they don't want to go back to where they used to be. And for Kasane, it is, what she did was wrong. I think it actually did get a translation, but like I said, it's not a popular anime. I mean, it's not a popular manga, even though the art is very beautiful. But like I said, the amount of how much you feel bad for Kasane is equal to the amount of like, Kasane, you can't keep doing this. And by the end of it, you're like, I hate the fact that it had to end this way, but in the end, she did get what she wanted, and she had to pay for what she did. And it was really good. It was a satisfying ending. Now, the current series that, like I said, Matsura is like currently writing, what is it? What's the new series she's writing? Because I actually was able to catch up with, I think, like about 5 or 9 chapters. I think it was 11 chapters that were translated by that point, and I was really invested. As soon as soon as you start like getting into the manga, you start like being really invested. And I think what's funny was like one of the characters looked like Kasane. I was like, Kasane, what are you doing here? And so eventually it actually did get a movie. Kasane did get a movie. I gotta give the movie a chance. I want to give the movie a chance. But my problem with it, and obviously this is not the actress's fault. This isn't Matsura's fault. It's not even like the director or anybody's fault. It's the fact that Kasane's ugliness is so unique. They can't possibly cast an actress like that without either scouting for someone like that or probably receiving backlash for that. It's like, yeah, you got casted because you were ugly. Amazing. You're known as the ugly VA. I should also mention that Kasane actually did receive... The reason why also Kasane is like... She got like also extra judged by the people around her because on the night the play ended when she was in elementary school. This is in her past. She and her bully were talking it out. And so Kasane being like she wants to make up, and she's like, I never want to like do this again. It's like, I want to make up with you. And it's like, hey, I don't want you to bully me. And now you know how it feels to be ugly. So earlier when Kasane took her face, she had a knife, and so the girl grabbed Kasane's knife and tried to threaten her, but they were on the school rooftop, so the girl slipped and then fell off, and well, you know what happened. Eventually, that's how Kasane also finds out that the face she received, her face was swapped back, because what happened was that when the girl slipped and died, she still had Kasane's face, but when Kasane ran back home and they found the body, the faces had already swapped back. And so what ended up happening was, as the girl fell off the roof, she accidentally slit the mouth of Kasane. So you probably noticed that she had like a pretty huge gash on the other side of her face. And it was because of that scar that she's constantly reminded of, this lipsticks thing is not what I thought it would be. This is a manga about very sad and messed up people, by the way. It should be noted. I loved every second of it. This is literally Shakespearean tragedy. It's called 3 Days of Happiness. It's very psychological. Isn't that one where like the dude like spends money on like trying to like live it up for 3 days, and then it turned out that like he wasn't even worth that much? Because I remember Giga like talked about that one. I've been interested in reading it. I've been interested. I gotta give it a read. I do want to read it. The synopsis is basically, it's the guy. Bro, that's what I literally just said. I already told Ventus. Are you following the conversation? I just told you about that one. I literally just described it for you. You still brought me the synopsis. Juventus, are you following the conversation? I've been meaning to read that one. Like, jokes is well, half joke. That was a half joke. I'm gonna be real honest with you, Ventus. That was a half joke. I meant what I said. My brain is like half asleep right now. You get a pass this time. You get a pass. Sleep won't save you next time, though. Yeah, but I actually want to give that one a read sometime. Probably in the future. I'm not sure. There's like so many stuff I want to do. What is it? One of the next characters we're probably gonna draw will be Maya and Novel from one of my like favorite childhood like series. This was like my very first anime before I discovered even Pokemon, or even like what anime was. I'll pull it up on screen after I finish this sock that looks jank. It looks so jank. Where's the shoe? Here we go. I pulled up the shoe. Got it, high school. Wait. What is it? My next read is going to be a long one, though. Got a high school. It's finally finished. It finished. It really finished, huh? Let me see. It really finished. I remember. I'd say that I didn't like the anime. I gotta admit, I didn't like the anime. Mostly because they got rid of... So, when they announced it, I kind of went on, like, a short binge of, like, God of High School. And I didn't like the anime adaptation because... that was the perfect way to go into an ensemble cast. And I loved those beginning chapters where, like, the girl is trying to find a marriage partner. And I liked that chapter. And I was, like, so hoping to be kind of, like, how do I explain it? What I was hoping for was that it would adapt those chapters akin to, like, have them fight with their, like, this, like, their name splash screening on, like, the, on the thing. Well, the epilogue is still pending, but main story is finished. Oh, okay. But yeah, like, I didn't like it. I really wanted to like the anime, but I thought it was kind of meh. Like, I know probably you're gonna be like, you gave in because of his opinion. It's like, nah. I didn't like it just because, like, just the anime just didn't really do it for me. I know, like, some people, like, agree, kind of, like, with that. Only because, like I said, it was just not a really good anime adaptation. Some series, like, I know, like, as much as people like, Tower God, that adaptation, still good, but, like, it could have been a lot better, so hopefully they do that for this upcoming season. That's what I was doing, got to... So many images I'm, like, sending to my computer. I had an image on Cosnet on my phone, and it was the perfect image too, but I forgot about it. Of course I did. Also, one of these days, I'm so getting myself an Uta pin. I'm getting myself a pin of Uta's logo. I gotta put Uta on the list of characters I want to draw, because Uta is the most adorable character. She is, like, the most adorable character that I love. I love Uta. Uta's supremacy. Maya and Novel. I talked about this, like, elsewhere, but okay. So, it's this anime about Thumbelina. It's an old movie. It's like so for anybody who doesn't know, back then, for some reason, people American studios would pick up anime, and then depending on how the anime was, they would just make a compilation movie of all their adventures, despite the original anime being like 24, 26 episodes. This is one of those, but I thought it was a movie the whole time, when it really was just a TV anime. Felt cinematic though. Loved every bit of it. It was Mira. Still remember finding the moment of falling in love with the character so much. It was Mira. Let me see. Here we go. I gotta like download 3 images. Novel. The title screen in Maya. I want to draw both Maya and Novel because I really liked Maya and Novel. The voice act. Okay, so strangely enough about this, the voice acting is actually not that bad. The problem is that it's strange. Okay, so the voice acting is not bad, but it's not. Okay, it's actually okay. So the anime is actually like good. It's like, you know, TV anime from like the 90s and stuff. Okay, this is probably like blurry as heck. So this was the series. This is my first childhood series before I knew what anime was. Bird is useless. Barely remember him in the plot. Somebody actually was able. Now the thing is, I want to watch this on stream with you guys, but the problem is though, is that it's gonna be a tiny bit hard to do so because the ones on YouTube cut off the ending. They cut off the complete ending of the whole movie. And it's just like, what? Okay, so the voice acting, I also gotta look at. The voice acting is also not bad, but it's not good either. But okay, it's good, but it's jank good. Like, Maya constantly Hi, it's been a while. Hi, Nuclear Snow Fox. We're talking about my childhood series. And Kasane. The manga Kasane. It is something. Woo! We're just talking about it. Okay, cool. Yeah. We're talking about Thumbelina. So this, to explain it, so this is actually a TV series that was picked up by a studio. And what happened was that back then there were specific series that would be taken, and they would have their episodes either cut down, or they would cut the episodes and mash them together to create a movie. This is one of those series. The other series I can also think of is the current character we're doing with Ashita no Nadja, where there is an English dub of this series, but it is lost media. And they have it dubbed. You can find the dubbed English opening and English ending on YouTube. It's very easy to find. Just type in Nadja English dub. I mean, Ashita no Nadja English dub. And the person found the dub, and then they lost the dub. Because this channel is dedicated to finding lost media of specific, like, magical girl type franchises. And I know they're legit because they were also able to find the anime version, the English dub version of Pre-Para, which is basically the sequel series to the Rhythm Heaven franchise. I mean, Pretty Rhythm Heaven. The Pretty Rhythm franchise. Which, if you don't know who the Pretty Rhythm franchise is, they're pretty much just an ice skating franchise. They were ice skating idols. Now, here's the thing. They were CG before CG was a thing. I will constantly, if I have to defend CG anime, I will defend CG within that anime. I mean, the models of the CG girls look way better than their anime counterparts, but let's ignore that. Let's ignore that. Yes, I'm calling them out. But, yeah. So this So, okay, so here's the thing. So this is Maya. So this is Maya. And this is Novel. We're going to be drawing Maya and Novel. Now, here's also the thing. This character right here is not named Novel. And you're probably wondering what I mean. It's like, why do you keep calling them Novel despite that being their name? So, when I was younger, in the show, Maya is played clearly by an older woman trying to sound like a child, a snotty child, because that's what Maya is in the beginning of the story. And so, the thing with her is that the voice she went with was very plugged up. I think I can look up like an I think I can look up some like the movie Thumbelina, a magical story, a magical story. Here we go. Let me like pause this real quick. I can like look up. Let's see. Come on. No, Grammarly, go away, please. Grammarly, go.
You must read this
book
called Thumbelina.
The dub is good but jank. It is so good but jank.
Still, I wonder what happens to Thumbelina.
It is it like turned up?
Huh?
Is it?
She looks just like me.
Okay, it is turned up. Hold on.
I feel so strange.
Here it is.
Huh?
I cannot stand her. I cannot like stand her screaming. She like in like the beginning of the movie she screams so much. Huh? First time hearing the series. Yeah, it's okay. I must say it like this. The dub is actually really good. I haven't seen this movie again in full, but when I was doing my research into it, trying to find the full version of the movie itself is really good. I mean, the dub itself is really good. But the problem is because of the voice actress for Maya, I gotta, like, find a good clip of Maya, like, her talking.
I've already read it. It's such a great book that I felt like I was Thumbelina.
What is it?
Well, I've changed my mind. I decided I like books after all.
Can you guys hear that?
Well, if you want me to, I can read you the story.
This is like Maya and her mom talking.
Maybe if I have time.
What is it?
It's a beautiful named Thumbelina.
Thumbelina.
Huh?
Don't fall asleep now. Tell me about Thumbelina.
There we go. Okay, I think that's like enough because this is so funny. Okay, I got an interesting art idea I want to tell you about. I want to make it into a short comic. Okay, but let's put the music back on now. But yeah, as you can clearly see, so the problem was though is throughout the movie, because she constantly sounded like, you know, she had something jammed up her nasal cavity, because that's the voice she went with Maya. The problem being that every time she would say certain things, you can't hear her, or she sounds irritatingly like a child. I mean, obviously she's a child, but like, I mean, as you can clearly see, so what happened was every time she said, so this is supposed to be like a sugar fairy on screen right now. The sugar fairy, Noble. The name of the character is Noble. But the problem is in the dub, because the actress can't really say it properly, she keeps sounding like she says Noble. So for all the years I watched this, we lost the DVD eventually, I think, or it got like abandoned. For all the years, like, I watched this, I absolutely believe she kept saying Novel when she was saying Noble. So we'll be drawing this character, and this character is Snotlo's little brat. I love this series. I love the movie. It's been like so long. I gotta watch it with you guys. I gotta find it. I gotta like find a full version though. It's like, why? Like, every time somebody uploads the movie, the ending is always snipped out. What I was also trying to find back then was also the original Japanese. Okay, that sounds interesting. Yeah. Let me see. So it's a love story, but not what you expect. It's between the older version of Red Riding Hood and the wolf in an AU where the woodcutter is trying to get between them. Okay. Alright. Okay. That sounds pretty interesting. Yay. No, but, I gotta find, like, the original... I'm trying to find the original full movie. I'm trying to find the full English movie because the movie is... It's a special movie.
Cassandra.
I gotta, like, what is it? Maybe I'll, like, upload a clip onto, like, Twitter and you can find, like, that's where, or maybe, let me see. I can probably toss it into, like, the Discord server or something. I thought Noble's voice, it was nasally as well, but, like, in a everyone's voice is charming in, like, the most charming way possible. Here we go. Okay, I tossed it into the Discord server. I tossed, a clip of Maya and Noble talking in the Discord server, so if anybody wants to check that out, you can check it out. I might toss it onto Twitter later, too. The dub, like I said, it's good, but it's jank. And I will always love it for that. I can't believe this was my first experience with anime. Oh, man. What was it? Last night, I had to, like, keep, like, shooing away the thought of doing this one series. So, you guys have probably not... What happened? Oh. Forgot my alarm went off. What else? There was this series that I watched as a kid. I never finished it. Like I said, running theme of me. There was a series I watched. And what happened was that I drew all the characters when I was younger. But obviously, as I got older, I was like, no. But for some reason, like a parasite to the brain, my brain has been like, hey, you should draw these characters again. It's been so long. Don't you love this series? And I'm like, no, I'm never going to draw those characters ever again because I was young and I didn't know at the time, but now that I'm older, I'm like, no, I'm not going to draw the characters. And the characters I'm referring to are from the anime Sister Princess. Not drawing any of the Sister Princess characters. I cannot stand Sister Princess. The thing is, in this version, the red, she dresses up like the wolf to sneak out wearing the watchful eyes of the woodcutter. Okay. Interesting. Wrong scroll. Yeah. What else? I was saying, I forgot. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. Sister Princess. Sister Princess is the second anime the second anime okay, out of all the worst series or comics or anything that I've ever read, Sister Princess is like top, like a part of the top, like 10, top 5 at least. And you're like, what is this series? It's an incest anime, that's why. But the thing though is that when I was younger, I did not. Gonna go AFK for like 30 minutes, need to get lunch. Alright, bye-bye. No, but like, I was like, I cannot stand Sister Princess. Because back then, I didn't know the concept of incest anime existed. And I thought like it was a whole like joke. I'm like, oh, they're like, because, okay, so the plot of Sister Princess is you got this guy, he was in the studious world of Japan, and he failed his test. Shameful. So his father dragged him out to an island to be on so he can study. Yeah, me too. Alright, you head out and get lunch. I'm gonna just talk here. No, but I'm like, why? And so he like goes into this island that he's been like forced to by his dad. And so what ends up happening is he encounters this girl. And he's like, wow, she's super pretty. Then he encounters another girl, and another girl, and another girl after that. And so when he gets home, he finds out that he has over 12 sisters. And I'm just like... But the thing is, though, is like me, like what, 12-year-old me was like, this is fake. Fake. This is clearly just a harem tactic. This is a harem tactic. They're not his sisters. They're not his sisters. Clearly this is a harem tactic to get closer because this one clearly likes him. Like, actually likes him. And I'm just like, and they're like, nope. And I'm just like, but why though? Why? What reason would there be? What reason would there be to make... Why? And so my mind, for some reason, because I've been going back to like nostalgic anime that I watched or did not watch, and I'm like, why would I do this one? It's Sister Princess. Number one, their character designs aren't even all that memorable, and number two, it's Sister Princess. That's like if I drew art of Orimo. That's Sid Snap's job. I'm just like, why? I'm not doing it. My brain's been like attacking me, being like, draw Sister Princess for the 50th time. I'm like, I don't want to draw Sister Princess. I won't draw Sister Princess. It will never happen. It's never gonna happen. I refuse. You'd have to pay me $1 million to draw anything from that series again. Give it the publicity it needs. And the thing is, though, it wasn't, like I said, if you saw earlier in the stream, I drew, like, little hamster creatures, so they weren't good, but I still drew any pretty character I saw. And I'm just like, wow. Yeah, me too. Lol. I'm not gonna draw those characters ever again. And it's, here's the thing. This was, like, early anime days. This is, like, and the thing is, here's the thing. I, like, legitimately, out of the genuineness of my heart, enjoyed harem series, even with fan service in it, because as long as it was funny, I could get into anything. I remember I got into yaoi because I liked comedy. I don't like yaoi really. Like now that I know the full like scope of what yaoi is, I just don't like yaoi because it's not my thing. But like it's like I can't stand Sister Princess. I know I'm like going on about it, but like I'm like, why? Why would anybody like this? That's why, like, what? I brought up, like, what is it? Because, like, what? Like, back then, like, Kiss X Sis was also popular. I was like, why would anybody, like, be into this? Like, why? It's your sister. Will I shame you for it? No. But I'm still gonna look at you. Listen, I won't, here in the Kendrillian household, we will not shame you, but we will shame you. We won't shame you, but we will shame you. It was an experience. That was little Kendra's experience first finding out that incest anime existed. Not existed, but like, I'm like, there's more than two? Because like I said, the top ones back then were Kiss X Sis and Orimo, and I'm like, surely there's no more than two. There was more than two. I'm like, who would watch this? They would watch this. Who's they, exactly? Going well with Nadja's feet. I know we did more talking today than usual. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but weird times back then. Yeah, anime was weird back then. That's what made it enjoyable. Not gonna lie though, love some of the younger generation, like the newer like generation of anime fans being like, they're like, anime is so weird, and everybody's like, first time. This is why anime is popular, because they take like, this is one of like my main reasons why anime is as popular as it is. It's because it's willing to take risks. Because here's the thing, lol, yeah. Okay, because like here's the thing, there are so many ideas out there that are so weird, you gotta wonder what was on the cutting room floor, because that means there's weirder stuff that was rejected. There's weird stuff that's rejected. I want to know what was rejected. Like, we got stuff like vending machine, isekai, and Sword Art Online, Kiss Sis, Orimo, Dokuro-chan, Dokuro-chan, just everything involving her. There's stuff that was canned because it wasn't good enough. I wonder if they had a hat with a bunch of ideas in it. My guy, Fairy Tail was a hat with a bunch of ideas. Did it still succeed? Yes, it did. And I enjoyed for that. Right, there we go. Let's enlarge the shoes. Me too. Yeah. Granted, if I get into Fairy Tail one more time, I'm gonna be like ranting again. Just a quick summary on that, because I talked about it earlier. I liked Fairy Tail before it had a story, so I'm not really familiar with like the newer plot lines, because I didn't like the fact that they started getting serious and adding a story, because in my personal opinion, Fairy Tail's strengths were just when they were still stuck in the guild and just had fun guild adventures. I think, if I remember correctly, someone said like 1,000 Year Quest was like a lot better, because it's a lot more planned out, a lot more fleshed out, and like an improvement of like what Fairy Tail is. But like I haven't read it, and I haven't I'd probably just jump into Eden Zero because it's the main thing he's working on anyway. But yeah. Like arcs in Fairy Tail, arcs mattered. The stuff with like Urza, loved that. The stuff with Gray and his past with Or, loved that. The search for Igneal and Natsu's like his like childhood crush with Lizana, who by all means should have stayed dead. I loved that. I will always say it. Lizana should have just died. Lizana should have stayed dead. She should have stayed dead and never come back. I'm like, why did you bring her back? She doesn't do anything. And I knew she didn't do anything because before I stopped watching it, she still wasn't doing anything. Then when I clicked up clicks of like what she does in the story, she didn't do anything plot relevant. So I'm like, what's she doing here? Make Elfman and Mira Jane not sad anymore? Yeah, some stuff was just random. Like, it was, like, the reveal was, like, shocking, and I, like, felt really happy for Mira Jane and Elfman, but now I just feel sad for alternate Mira Jane and Elfman. Because they're now without a sister. And they're just stuck in Edelaz. That was, like, really good, like, character growth, in my opinion, for Mira Jane, Natsu, and Elfman. It's like, why bring her back? Don't bring her back! Or the stuff with Happy. Stuff with Happy was, like, really good. I actually liked that. Some stuff was really, really cool. And then you have stuff like pulling a Lizana. That wasn't cool. There weren't a lot of pulling of Lizanas throughout the series, but there was enough of them. Very small things that I'm like, go back to having no plot and just character arcs of just the guild having fun. Because like I said, in my personal opinion, that's where Fairy Tail thrived the best. Having no plot and just everyone having fun, because you don't need stakes to make a good series. Fairy Tail is basically a battle slice of life. And it should have stayed a battle slice of life. Like early Dragon Ball. That had arcs, that had fighting. Like early Dragon Ball, whatever you say about that, we all know it has its issues, let's be absolutely real here. It had its arcs, it had its battles, it had goofy fun moments, and it works for early Dragon Ball because that's what early Dragon Ball set itself out to be. Imagine if early Dragon Ball had done what Fairy Tail did with the arcs and the character builds up, and then like Piccolo comes in out of nowhere and like the stakes like get so serious. Like it felt like what Fairy Tail did was that it set up world building, and then it was like, I guess I gotta reward the world building. It's like, don't reward the world building. Don't go. The stuff with Zeref, leave it in the past. Please. No? I know I'm like going on and on about it, but I like genuinely mean it when I say Fairy Tail just did not need to have a story. It just does not. It was one of those series that worked best by not having a story. Let me see, where is the face? Let's see. I like how this isn't even like the final line art. Yeah, but I know I'm like going off, but I'm like, oh, it shouldn't have happened. It should never have happened. Don't do it again. Oh man, I combined the wrong layers. There we go. Bulja. Nadja, more like Bulja. Don't worry, it's okay. Yeah. I get like kind of heated about it because I know some people like, oh, Fairy Tail's not that bad, and like I agree with them. Fairy Tail is not a bad series. Like out of everybody in the series, surprisingly, I know some people would be like, Urza's my favorite, or Mira Jane's my favorite. Lucy is my favorite, and I like the fact that like Mashima, like I love what he did with Lucy. Her arc was one of my favorites. She didn't have like a super big arc. It was that she ran away from home because she wanted to join Fairy Tail. That's just her arc. And that's just what she did. And then the consequences after the whole time skip, from what I did find out after the whole like time skip, that actually made me sad, and I really like that wrap up to her story. Stuff like that is what I like about Fairy Tail, where the consequences may not happen in the immediate arc, but they do follow the eventual continuous arc. So it has its like really good moments. Its highs are high, its lows are low, but it does make up for it in the end. And I really like that about Fairy Tail. So here we go. I worked a lot of it off screen, but yep. Here's Nadja. I gotta like finish her hand. And then we'll be doing the line art of both the unknown girl and Nadja. What I wanted to do is I was trying to make it so we just do the line art of both of these, so I was probably going to stream tomorrow, but who cares? But yeah, what else is there? I don't know. Oh yeah, recently I got into this series. It's by the author of Takopi's Original Sin, and I got into it because somebody had shared fan art of it. And it's a really bittersweet and really good series. I highly recommend it if you can take sadness, because it's a pretty sad series. But it's wait, no. I will, how should I put it? The series is pretty, it's pretty I will say it is pretty trigger warning. It is pretty trigger warning. That I can say about it. Okay, cool, I'll check it out. It is trigger warning though. And so what happened was that the author recently came out with their new original series. The Ichinose family's original sin. And so I'm like, ooh, I liked their work. I like all their work so far. I might as well like check it out. And so it's about this family who collectively has amnesia. And so, you know, obviously they go about their day in the hospital. And so eventually they go back home after getting like checked out and stuff. And they see what's in their rooms when they get there. And it is like, I won't spoil what it is because it's still new. It has like less than 10 chapters out at the moment. And it like updates every Sunday. I'm like following it because I really, really like this series. What is it? Yeah. I really like this series so far. And this, it's gonna be like, what is it? It's weekly. I'm like, author, it looks like you have caught my attention once more. Therefore, I must ask, will there be heartbreak like Taco P? There will be? Alright. Sounds about right. I was waiting for like this, like last, like technically this week's chapter, but New Year's. One thing that I love yet hate about the holidays is like how you'll be invested in a series and it's like the author will update, and then like all of a sudden, yeah, the author won't be updating because it's Christmas, and it's like, no, Christmas, and it's like my Christmas gift was hopefully this series, but it wasn't, and the Ichinose's family's case, it was New Year's, and I was like, no, New Year's. And it's like, yes, I understand. You need to see your family, but I want to read my manga. Like the selfish little girl you are. Oh man, it's funny. It's funny, the duality of like, you want the mangaka to be better, but it's like, I need the next chapter. Your story is so captivating. Like, what is it? I don't read Black Clover, but I know the author is like having health issues, and it's like, my guy, I think you just need to go to the hospital because of like what's going on with like the mangaka. He's been like sick. Like, what is it? I won't say what it is because it is kind of gross, but I'm like, God, my guy, I think you need what is it? It was like him, his daughter, then their dog got sick, and I'm like, guy, author, I know you want to finish Black Clover, I know you want to finish your story, and I know you're wrapping up, but I think it's just best to go to the hospital so that you can finish up your story, and so that none of you die, because that would be pretty bad. I also like the fact that Shonen Jump is like now giving some authors like some mandatory, like, they're like, bro, we literally just had one of our men just collapse one day. The whole Berserk situation with Miura, everybody's like, you get a break now. You get a break now. So Shonen Jump's now trying to like do help. Oh yeah, that was pretty sad. Yeah. Now I never read Berserk because I'm not really into dark fantasy like that, especially since, well, dark is in the name. I don't know what I expected. Well, granted, apparently people are still learning about that about Berserk, where everybody's like, my guy, it's a dark fantasy. I don't know what you expected. The amount of people, though, I do actually kind of find hilarious, though, because they're like, it's this dark, this doesn't have to be that kind of dark fantasy, and it's like, what in what world did you not hear the words dark fantasy and thought it would be sunshines and rainbows? The literal cover inside the manga explicitly says, this is not made for easy viewing. This is not, if you cannot handle this type of stuff, do not buy or pick up the book. A warning is displayed on the first page before you even go open up the story. Because the next page is the most explicit stuff you ever seen. And not, like I said, I've never read it. I'm just relaying what stuff I've actually heard, like, from people who have read it. And I'm just like, my guy, just don't pick up Berserk. And then the thing is, I think it's also kind of dumb. They then post the page being like, this sick page. And I'm like, why would you show this to people? Like, why in the world would you show this to people? If you think it's a sick page, why would you show more people this sick page? Yeah, that's cringe. Yep. Like, one thing that I'm, like, super glad that Twitter did, though, was they added that, spoiler tag. That was actually pretty nice. So now people can, like, hide stuff in it without having, like, without showing any of that stuff. So, there's that. That's good. Now, if you click it, it's your own fault. I'm not even gonna deal with this. Who cares? I'll deal with the anatomy later. Yeah, it's different. It's a different slice of life. Yeah. It's a slice of life of the tortured, that's for sure. I need you to not be cringe. What else? What is it? Oh yeah, I remembered. The reveal of, like, the invisible girl. She's absolutely adorable. I thought that was, like, the best. Her design is so pretty. The invisible girl's design is so, like, beyond pretty. I'm sorry. I can't. Played any new games yet? I have not been able to play really anything. It's been a bit. I explained it like a couple months back. So what happened was that I had the Switch. I bought new games, I will say that. I had the Switch, I had my Switch. So the reason why, I'm not sure if you were there during, like, the beginning days of when I started streaming, but obviously, if you were in the beginning days, you would know that I, had brothers who would play the games in the background, and so what happened was that the game got drenched in water, and the Switch slowly died. It's not completely dead. The screen can still show if I hook it to the dock, but the dock took most of the water damage, and so I gotta wait to get a new Switch if I want to play anything. So I've been getting games in the meantime, which, looking back at it, I'm probably like, maybe you should have used that money for, instead of games, and used them to get a Switch. And I'm like, you know, maybe I could have, but then I wouldn't have my games. So I was able to get, like, 3 games last year. Oh, well, that's sad. Good luck. Yep. That's just how it be. It happens like that. I was, like, super mad, but, like, I had to realize, like, I've done some stuff that's, like, people should be more mad at me for, but I was off the rails over, like, a video game. I'm just happy that no one was hurt, because when the Switch got wet, it was, obviously, the Switch is, like, plugged near a wall. So I had to like make sure that it was unplugged from the wall, that nobody was hurt, there were no sparks, nothing was like, nothing exploded basically. So I was happy about that. I was happy everybody was safe, and that was what I was more that's what I was more like glad about than like the Switch. So yeah, I did overreact though. Well, I was both overreacting and just really mad. But it's been like that's okay. That's nice. Everyone's okay. Yeah. It's just how it is. It is what it is. Am I right? What is it what you can do? And even then, I couldn't play games on this thing anyway because, yeah. But I did, like I said, I did buy some games in the meantime. I bought Metroid Dread on my birthday last year, so we'll be playing that since I've never really played a Metroid game. And for Christmas, this literally about a week ago, or technically Saturday, I bought Super Bomberman R and Kirby in the Forgotten Land. I've been going after Kirby in the Forgotten Land literally all year. So we finally got that down. And then what's next on my list are a couple of other games, like the Kirby's Return to Dreamland remake. I'm so going after that. I don't think I'll be able to play it on the day it comes out. I really wanted to, but this year has been interesting, to say the least. Last year was a very special year. It's why I was on hiatus for so long last year. Even though I didn't want to be, it was the reason why. So much stuff happened. You guys have no idea. But hey, that's just how it be. Now we're back to streaming. Now we're back to just, helping ourselves get our lives back in order. And then, yeah. I did things last semester, the past previous 6 months. I did things I never thought I would do. I made friends with people I never thought I would ever make friends with. It pays to not be terminally online. And then once everything is settled in and we get all the stuff and supplies, we won't be able to do things immediately, but we will be able to do some things. So, because I'll be most likely setting up, I think by at least June or July, we'll have everything set up, but still have to set stuff up. Yeah, it's good to start off the new year on your 2 feet. Sometimes it's the new year, and then sometimes it's just, how should I put it? 2020, beginning of winter, summer, spring, and summer had to be the craziest year of our lives. But it took until I was like, hey, I don't want to be in this spot anymore. Because it doesn't have to take until the new year, even though we get that mentality, or even though that's still a good thing. Start off the new year fresh, obviously. You need the new year to start fresh on the new year. It's what I'm trying to do as well. But sometimes it just takes that spot in the middle of the year, that one day you're like, all right, I gotta get up back on my own 2 feet. I gotta take care of what we need to take care of. No more sadness, none of that, because that's not gonna get me anywhere. Sound like what? Sound like a motivational speaker. Oh man, I pulled the handout, but not the bag. So I have all my line art and all this stuff separated into different folders. I gotta pull the bag out of the line art because I actually like how this bag came out. I spent 2 or 3 hours into the nighttime hour drawing that bag for no reason other than because I'm dumb. right, bag secured. It happens. But hey, what can you do, right? And then you know what happened? Good things started to happen. Good things I didn't expect started to happen, but they happened. And you know what? They turned out all for the better. Strange, huh? But hey, that's just where life will take you. Nice, nice, and strange. Nice, nice and strange. Yep. What else can you do? Right? And all you can do, because if you always wait till the new year, then you'll never get anything done. It all just takes one step. And then we just get back together. I had to take like last year. I was like, I want to get back to streaming. But stuff, like I said, stuff happened, and it's like, I don't want to come back to you guys, like, say, like, because I remember I made, like, that hiatus announcement, and I was, like, super proud, and I was like, I want to come back, like, big and strong, and with, like, a good, better setup for you guys, and I didn't want to come back with, like, a bad set, with, like, the same setup, because I had, like, deleted so many, I had already cleared out my computer, not cleared out completely, but, like, cleared out the computer, but the thing was, though, is, like, when certain circumstances got in the way, I had to re-hook back up the computer, this computer that we're playing on right now, and I was like, I don't want to come back to you guys yet, so the hiatus will be longer, and then eventually I just had to come back and be like, guys, we're gonna be stuck with this for a bit, but we're gonna make something out of it. And that's exactly what we did. And so it was more of like a kind of a revelation for myself, being like, hey, we don't need the best setup. Now, it would be nice if we had the best setup. We don't need it. Not only that, it made me also start looking into, like, actually looking into the stuff that I needed. Because what happened was that the previous system I bought wasn't really a system. It was an all-in-one computer. And if you need an all-in-one computer, that's fine. It's good to start off the new year strong. Yeah. What is it? I bought the computer, and it was an all-in-one computer. Now, the thing with all-in-one computers is they're not bad, but the problem is you're not going to get any work done on there. Not any big, heavy work on there. Because unlike, say, like a regular computer, where you can, like, have stuff built up, like, with the best of the best parts, all-in-one computers have already built-in parts. And so the computer was running fine, until I started playing a legal, in big air quotes, legal copy of Kirby's Epic Yarn. And so the game, I know, like, some people probably caught that stream. I know at least some people probably caught that stream. Because I didn't get rid of the VOD for that one on purpose, because I don't remember, it's a year ago. Alright. I haven't gotten it all done. I haven't drawn the straps, but, like, at the same time, it's like, I haven't drawn the straps to the other one either. So, sketch is done. Lol, okay. Yeah. It just happens. It happens. It happens. Years suck, but hey, it's what you do with it afterwards. And I'm happy for that. It could have been like the worst year, but somehow it was just it's just a year of growth. Somehow. All I can say, God paved the way. I'm into that. Alright. So I guess, I mean, we've been chatting the whole stream. So I guess for the next 2 days, we shall be finishing up the sketches for The Unknown Girl by X lowercase 0. Wait, no, lowercase 0? What the heck is lowercase 0? So, next couple of streams, we will be continuing and finishing the line art off for The Unknown Girl by X0, lowercase o, 0, x, underscore, and Nadja from Ashita no Nadja, which we will be doing next time, because, I don't know, we've already been chatting so far. Cool, looks awesome. Yeah. Exactly. I was actually not sure if my pose for Nadja would, like, work out. The hand up top, this hand up top right here, I was, like, so unsure about how to do this. I'll probably work on this hand off stream a little bit because I think it still kind of looks off. At least the thumb looks really off. But this hand was actually kind of difficult because I don't have a boater hat. What's a boater hat? You're looking at it. It's those like little flat caps from like back in the day. And so what happened was that I didn't have a boater hat, so I had to hold a book up to my head and like fake like I was taking a hat off. And because, like, the boater hat, because it's kind of like a straw-ish kind of hat, the rim is flat, so it was, like, super perfect. I don't have any, like I said, I don't have any boater hats, I don't have any flat caps like this. So I had to, like, find a way to, like, do it. It was kind of hard. It's kind of hard, but I got it done. Came out better than the other hand, though. So I'm at least happy for that. I'm starting to, like, do better with learning and using references. It's actually... It makes stuff really easier. It, like, makes stuff really easy when you, like, have a reference. So I'll like I said, I'll probably do the other hand as well as a reference. Man, I can't... I don't even know. The next couple of characters, I already crossed Nadja off the list. We still have like a ton of other characters. I think some of these characters I know I'm gonna redraw because they look off in a lot of ways. But we've got, yeah, drawing like that is pretty easy. Yep. What is it? We have one character done of a couple. And this isn't even like the last of the list because I have a few more that that I gotta put on here because I want to draw them as well. Originally Haruhi was actually next, but I just decided to do Nadja because I felt like it. And because the pose I'm gonna do for Haruhi, I still gotta research on because that one's specifically going to be of Haruhi trying to drop dishes. Or like drop dishes. And the thing is though, is I'm not sure if I want her going forward or backwards, because I still want to show off her whole body, because if you guys notice, a lot of the characters that you see me draw on here, I draw the whole body, and I just like to draw the whole body of the character. These last three exemplify that, but these still also exemplify, like, the body. Yee. So, yeah. I guess I should go over the list of them one more time. I'll probably go over the list of them each and every time from, like, the series they're from and all that stuff. Oh, even the current girls as well. So, we have Haruhi Fujioka from Ouran High School Host Club. We'll eventually be drawing her. I never realized it before, but, like, Haruhi is actually really adorable when she's not in the host club. She's adorable. Right next to Honey Senpai. She takes second place, though. She takes second place under Honey Senpai. Honey Senpai is king. We'll also be doing Momo and Sai from Peach Girl. Peach Girl is one of the earliest shoujo-specific anime that I watched. It is one of the shows that has, like, a weird, uncanny art style, but you forgive it because it's actually it's a pretty good, decent romantic series. Then we have Su-A and Barama-O. Now the thing with these two is they're not anime characters. They're webtoon characters, manhwa characters. And you know, they're adorable. Su-A is from Operation True Love, while Barama-O is from A Whirlwind Campus Affair. Both series that I read and I really love a lot. Love those series. I think I gotta follow the artist of Su-A if they have a Twitter. I know I follow them elsewhere, but like I want Twitter feed. We'll also be going over, obviously we went over Nadja from Ashita no Nadja. Think of Annie, but she's gotta go find her mom. Stuff like that. We'll also be doing Ironina from the song by Niru Kajitsu, Nil Fruits. We'll be doing Ironina from the song, well, Ironina. It's one of my all-time favorite songs. It's just my all-time favorite songs. Problem with it, though, is I gotta find references of Nina because, unfortunately, even though the artist sometimes does character sheets, Akashi doesn't really put out character sheets, really. Their art is really fantastic. You've probably heard about them from the Vocaloid song Traffic Jam, done by the same creator, Nil Fruits. Or, I know, like, Harumaki Gohan collaborated with him with, it's the one song where, like, everything is, like, scrolling panning and, like, so many, like, scenes, like, pass by. Unme. They collaborated and did Unme, and then on Niru's channel, they collaborated and did Franken X. I like that song a lot. Mastermind Chiaki. So, funny thing is, I'm think about erasing Mastermind Chiaki. Maybe. We might still do her. Because what ended up happening was that literally about a day later, after I had already, like, said I was gonna do Mastermind Chiaki because I thought that the leftover sale was just up and abandoned after everybody got all their, like, fanzine stuff. They just announced a leftover sale, and it's coming up in a couple days, so hey! Yeah, it took a year, but we got it, guys! We'll also be doing, so anybody who doesn't know, mastermind, the exclamation point means mastermind, because it is based on a Danganronpa fanzine of what if other characters other than cool and good luck. Yeah. What is it? It's based on a fanzine where what if every other character was the mastermind and not Junko, Izuru, or the blue-haired chick. I never really got into Danganronpa 3, can you tell? Miura, whatever her name is. But, one of them, my personal favorites, was Mastermind Chiaki, who the art was done by TV Channy. And this was the art of Mastermind Chiaki. I've talked about it on the channel already, but I'll still pull up, like, pictures and stuff. This was, what the art looked like from the front, but here is a front and back portion since I didn't pull it up on purpose because it's kind of fuzzy on purpose. So yeah. And so I thought the leftover sale was no longer gonna happen. And so what ended up happening was, let me delete these. What ended up happening was I was like, I'm gonna make my own. But, you know, day later they announced the leftover sale and they were like, we did not up and abandon you guys. We promised the leftover sale. We'll bring you the leftover sale. And then what we will do, Reverie Netherlands. We're calling her Ren because I like Ren better, who is the main female lead of Elemental Jade, and she's adorable. Nice. Yeah. She's adorable. It's Ren. If you know Elemental Jade, you already know. It's a fun shonen. It's a fun shonen. Will the author ever finish their series? Maybe. I don't know. Then next we'll have Tsukimi from Jellyfish Princess. Now it was actually a toss-up. This was actually kind of a hard one because it was a toss-up between the literal female lead and the male lead. You hope one day. Yeah. Well, I kid you not. It was a literal toss-up between the literal female lead and the male lead. Because the male lead is what is actually prettier than the female lead. If you've seen Jellyfish Princess, you already know what I'm talking about. Tsukimi, that awkward, shy, nerdy girl, and the love interest, who just cross-dresses. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But I like Tsukimi for her nerdy self. So we're drawing Tsukimi, plus her in her sweatsuit, adorable. Yeah, interesting anime. Yeah, I want to read Jellyfish Princess in full one of these days. I know the author, they now do webtoons. They did a webtoon they actually did a webtoon and finished it called My Fake Affair. That one's actually funny. So it's about this girl who had a wedding ring from her sister because her sister forgot it when she was out of the country for her wedding. And so what happened was that her sister was like, oh hey, MC, can you bring my ring back? And she's like, fine. And so she sees this guy as she's going on top of the plane and she drops the ring. And so what happens is that he's like, oh, here's your ring, congratulations. And so the dude she has a crush on thinks that she's married. I haven't read it past, I think, chapters 1 and 2, but I'm planning on, reading it because it's so anime. It's so plot. It's such a such. Yep. Oh man. I know they're also doing another series, but I don't think that one's been fully, translated. It hasn't even been picked up by, It's been picked up by some fan translations, but I think it got dropped. That one's an age gap story. I like age gap stories. Some of them, not all of them, but so that one actually really worked really sweetly because the author of Jellyfish Princess is just a really good author. Knows how to set the stage. Then we'll be doing Lucy from Fairy Tail because Lucy, yes, I'm simple. I'll live with it. And then we will be doing a modern girl by the name of Ushio Kofune. Ushio Kofune from the anime Summertime Rendering, which... Okay, Summertime Rendering. It has its grading moments. I've talked about this earlier. Modern anime don't need fan service anymore. Summertime Rendering is one of those series that just didn't need it. At all. It helped with the plot, once. One plot point, and then literally the author just flat out abandons it throughout the rest of the series because the author is actually that good at writing. I'm like, my guy, modern anime literally don't need fan service anymore. Writers have literally gotten so good now, you don't need that anymore. I'm not joking, by the way. Look at One Punch Man. Look at Mob Psycho. I never finished Mob Psycho. But, the amount of praise it got when its final episode aired shows so much nowadays. Authors do not need, fan service in anime anymore. I mean, if they want to add it, yeah, that trippy lol. Yeah. I want to, but I'm still thinking about it. I'm still, like, thinking about it. Maybe yes, maybe no. Who knows? But yeah, you never know. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think other characters I want to draw, I'm not sure. Eventually I want to draw, I had one character in mind to draw. But I'm not sure if I want to draw them. I'm not sure if I even want to mention them on stream because I know the drama surrounding this character gives so many people a headache. I don't care. But at the same time, I don't want the headache. Should I even, like, say it? So, I guess I should set the stage. So there was this game that I was really looking into. There's this game I was looking into. It was a fighting game. Some people already guessed which game it was. Oh man, it was a fighting game. And I was looking into it because I had seen it like drifting here and there, and I wanted to get into like I wanted to genuinely get into fighting games. And what ended up happening was it ended up falling off of my radar because I had to focus on other things. And what ended up happening is I see this character from that series trending constantly for 2 days. You probably already know which character I'm talking about. Yeah, life does that, yeah. You're probably already figured out which character I'm talking about. They were trending all over Twitter. They're still trending all over. Even now. And while, like I said, I don't care if, like, how you feel about the character. Both sides are just flat out annoying about it. Both sides are just flat out annoying about it. And I don't want either side to be, like, have their own ideals. I don't care, but I want to draw the character a lot because they're very cute. Oh man. Wait, I want to say the name, but I know good and well that everybody's gonna be like, why? And the thing is, I figured out a whole pose and everything, and I'm just like, ah! Yeah, to me, I just watched it unfold. It's hilarious. Yep, you probably figured out who it was. On the one hand, it was funny, and on the other hand, like, okay, say what you want about either side of the debate. I think the side that's currently winning right now is so annoying about it, because now they're going around harassing artists just no matter what. But then you got the other side who's just like, they've pretty much just given up and just like moved on. But at the same time, you have literal people on the other side being like, your tears fill me with joy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're more cringe than the other side. You're more cringe on the other side, my guy. You're just as cringe. But, I won't say the character's name, but like I said, for anybody in the future who sees this VOD, I think they're called little gremlins. Just know that the character got into a lot of controversy. However you identify the character, I understand. It's just how it is. If it's canon, it's canon. If it's not canon, it's not canon. Just stop being so cringe. I'm still thinking maybe I want to, but if I don't, then that's just how it is. But with that being said, we are now wrapping up for today. We have now finished off 2 characters in their line art form. And as a result, not in line art form, in sketch form. And as a result, we shall probably start finishing up the line art for the both of them tomorrow and the day after. Yeah! And with that, we shall raid somebody. Who, buddy? Somebody. Huh? When did I get... When? Okay, that was weird. Alright, we got a little spade. Prayers for Abby. She's playing Bendy in the ink machine. And then we got Captain Cube. You know what? I don't know who this Mamoki is. Okay, that was fun and cool. Yeah. I hope it didn't sound too like I said, I was being vague on purpose, only because I know good and well, like, eventually it's gonna blow over. It's gonna blow over, but I know both sides, like I said. It's gonna be annoying for the time being, and I might. It's okay, don't worry about it. Yeah, I might. Who knows? I might still draw the character, maybe I'll draw it in my own time. But who knows, I'm still deciding on it. Alright, bye everybody, we're going to Mamoki stream. Moment. Dang. Alright, good night later, see ya! Raid now!